Welcome back to the Fawad Bey YouTube channel. We've got a super exciting explainer lined up for you today. We are looking at a device that is absolutely dominating the budget audio space right now, the wildly popular Sony WH-CH520 headphones.
So, let's cut right to the chase and tackle the core question of today's explainer. Can you really get premium, brand-name sound and elite battery life for under $50? I know, it sounds a little too good to be true, right? Well, we're going to dive deep into Sony's spec sheets and we'll look at thousands of real user experiences to see exactly how they pull this off. Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. Unboxing the WH-CH520. 2. Design and comfort. 3. Specs and features. 4. Sound and call quality. And finally, Part 5. Real user reviews. Let's get right into it. Alright, Section 1, Unboxing the WH-CH520. What's actually in the box? Okay, let's set some realistic expectations right off the bat here. When you're paying under $50 for a pair of Sony headphones, something has to give. And the physical unboxing experience is clearly where they trim the fat. The contents are, well, incredibly sparse. You get the headphones themselves, some standard user manuals, and a USB-C to USB-A charging cable. But listen to this, that cable is only about 8 inches long. So yeah, get ready to hug the wall while you're charging. There is absolutely no power brick and no carrying case included. You are getting just the bare functional essentials to keep that price tag down.
Moving on to Section 2, Design and Comfort, the tactile feel and wearability. Transitioning over to the physical build, we have to talk about how these feel on your head. Look at that number, 147. That's the weight in grams. To put that into perspective, these things are practically featherweight. And why does that matter to you? Because shedding that extra bulk drastically reduces head fatigue over long listening sessions. If you're wearing these for an 8-hour shift at work or a crazy long commute, those 147 grams mean you might honestly forget you even have them on. Building on that super lightweight frame, these go with a classic on-ear form factor. That means the soft ear pads rest directly on your ear cartilage rather than fully cupping around it. Now remember how we just said there's no carrying case? Well, Sony cleverly gave these a swivel design so the ear cups lay completely flat, making it super easy to slide them right into your backpack. You've also got a fully adjustable headband with a dedicated top cushion and silent joints, which is awesome because it prevents that annoying plastic creaking sound every time you turn your head. It's a build totally focused on all-day comfort. Which brings us to Section 3, Specs and Features. Let's talk about the digital experience. Look, if the physical materials are a bit basic, the digital experience is where Sony really flexes its muscles. 50 hours of battery life on a single charge. Just think about that for a second. You could literally fly entirely around the world on one charge and still have juice left over. And hey, if you do somehow manage to run out right before you leave the house, a super quick 3-minute charge via that tiny USB-C cable yields an incredible 90 minutes of playback. I mean, this is straight up flagship level battery performance, just wrapped in a budget frame. Diving straight into the technical details here, we've got Bluetooth version 5.2, which ensures a rock-solid stable connection. But honestly, the real MVP here is the multi-point connection. This lets you connect to 2 devices simultaneously. So imagine you're watching a YouTube video on your laptop and suddenly your phone rings. The headphones will seamlessly switch over so you can take the call. Having this level of convenience in headphones under $50 is incredibly rare. Add in full hands-free integration with Siri and Google Assistant, plus Google Fast Pair and Find My Device, so you can easily ping them if they're lost in your couch cushions, and you've got a seriously smart piece of tech. Another premium software perk Sony threw in is DSE, or the Digital Sound Enhancement Engine. Let me break this down simply. When you stream music on platforms like Spotify or Apple Music, the files are usually compressed to save data, right? And that strips away some of the crisp, high-frequency details of your favorite songs. DSE is Sony's proprietary tech that intelligently upscales those compressed files. It essentially restores those lost details, upgrading standard streaming music to sound way closer to the rich, dynamic quality of the original studio recording. And setting all this up, it's ridiculously streamlined. You just connect via Fast Pair on your smartphone, pop open the dedicated Sony Headphones Connect app, and dive straight into creating your custom EQ or equalizer presets. This app integration is absolutely crucial. It makes these budget headphones so adaptable. You aren't boxed into just one generic sound profile. You can customize the audio specifically for your taste, boost the bass for your gym playlist, or bring out the vocals for your favorite audiobooks. It's totally up to you. All right, Section 4, Sound and Call Quality. Time for a quick performance check. Let's talk about the actual audio performance and see how all these specs translate into an immersive listening experience. Driving the sound in the WH-CH520 are 30mm dynamic drivers. According to our sources and extensive testing, these deliver a really balanced sound profile right out of the box. You're getting clear mids and highs paired with a punchy, satisfying bass. Whether you're listening to a complex classical piece, a podcast interview, or heavy electronic beats, these drivers handle the variety with impressive clarity, especially for the price point.
Now, we do have to look at the full picture when it comes to noise control. On one hand, these feature a built-in microphone with excellent noise suppression technology. That means your voice is going to sound crystal clear on calls, since the mic actively filters out background chatter. But on the flip side, they do not feature active noise cancellation, or ANC, for your own listening. Because of that on-ear design and the lack of ANC, you are absolutely still going to hear the environment around you. It's a key physical trade-off you definitely need to consider. Moving on to Section 5, Real User Reviews, Expectation versus Reality. To keep things completely objective, let's ground this explainer in reality by looking at thousands of Amazon customer reviews from our sources. When we analyze the feedback specifically on sound quality, the data really just speaks for itself. Out of over 1,800 mentions, nearly 1,600 of them are overwhelmingly positive, compared to just 253 negative. The vast majority of everyday users are praising the sound quality as wonderful, clear, and surprisingly loud for the money spent. And this quote brilliantly illustrates the overall sentiment we're seeing in those highly rated reviews. One user writes, "The sound is amazing and battery life is amazing. Best headphones, they can last me a whole week." This glowing 5-star review perfectly captures the incredible value proposition Sony is offering here. When the core features, like the audio output and that monster battery stamina, deliver this strongly, people are genuinely thrilled. But hey, to maintain our trust and impartiality here, we've got to address those physical limitations we hinted at earlier. Here is a pretty stark 1-star review. Caused a crazy peeling rash behind the ears. Also too tight and hurts your head. Ouch. While a lot of people find them lightweight and comfortable, the reality of an on-ear design is that it rests directly on your ear cartilage. For some users, especially if you wear glasses or happen to have a slightly wider head, this clamping fit can cause genuine discomfort over long periods of time. We also need to talk about longevity and overall build quality. When looking at hardware reliability, the gap is definitely narrower, 340 positive versus 225 negative. While most users find them surprisingly sturdy, a notable fraction of the source reviews mentioned experiencing sudden connectivity drops, static, or hardware failures after just a few months of use. It's a very practical reminder that, at the end of the day, budget materials can sometimes translate into budget durability.
Yet, balancing the narrative back out, we see enthusiastic endorsements like this one. Great headphones, way better than AirPods, and significantly cheaper too. The charge time, battery life are all amazing. When a daily user is favorably comparing a $40 to $50 pair of plastic on-ear headphones to premium, much pricier wireless earbuds, it really highlights just how much digital and audio value Sony has successfully packed into this affordable little package.
All right, we've made it to the final verdict. Are they actually worth the budget?
So the crucial point here is weighing these impressive software and audio highs against some very real physical limitations. On one hand, you have phenomenal strengths. An unbeatable 50-hour battery life, robust app EQ customization, and that sweet DSEE audio upscaling. But balancing that out are the practical constraints of a budget device, a tight on-ear fit that might cause fatigue for some, absolutely no active noise cancellation to block out the world, and a pretty bare-bones unboxing experience. Which brings us to our final takeaway for you to ponder. Do 50 hours of battery life and premium app features